Welcome to the Yammering Moron Show. It's another Bantersode tonight on Deep Fat Fried.
Do you guys know the Queen wave?
Yeah, I think you've taught it to me before, but
It's elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist, touch your necklace, blow a kiss.
I don't know.
Elbow, elbow,
Elbow, elbow,
Elbow, elbow.
wave, elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist. Touch your necklace and blow a kiss. That's the princess wave when you're. You can also do this. This one is like way cooler to me.
Yeah, because that looks way more regal. Like, yes, I am great. Yes,
it works both-handed.
yes.
You can do it one-handedly or you can do it two-handedly, and it's almost like you're giving. It's like you're simultaneously taking, but you're giving as well.
You're taking and you're giving, but you're also kind of saying like I'm friendly enough to care about you in some nebulous way, but also kind of get away from me. You know.
Right.
There's a lot of like give and take with the gesture, which I like.
Yeah.
So this is what one would expect from royalty, TJ.
That'll be how
gestures are interesting, man.
I'll start waving like that to people.
Gestures like what we do, like we really kind of ignore, I think a lot of us do as human beings, what we do with our hands when we talk. But it's very like there's a
you know, Paul, that's true. We do kind of ignore what we're doing, you know. That's a good point, Paul. You bring up a good fucking point, you know?
There's a modus operandi behind every movement.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. I got some great nonverbal communication for you right here, Paul.
What did you just grab your dick? What's the fuck going on?
I don't know. I just made a jerk off.
I'm gonna fucking
I don't know. This is the most vulgar thing I could think of, so I did it.
Scotty's fake O face might be the most disturbing thing that ever happens on this show. Scotty's fake O face that he does when he's doing his like jerk off shit. yeah, there it is. It's like, oh god, dude, if that's what Taylor's fucking looking at.
I don't know, dude. I don't know what my actual O face looks like, though. I have to ask her.
Taylor.
She just
Taylor. If
Taylor closes her eyes
face.
and counts to 10 when that happens.
Yeah.
It's just a dream.
My O face described to me, and let's just put it this way: like, I'm glad that only a select few people have witnessed my actual O face.
It's like, well, you know, it's like, yeah, I don't know.
My O face is like a W. Everything just becomes scrunched, like, you know. So.
What?
It's really violent. Like I scream. But not like in a sexual way. It's more like just like a so it's very violent.
You're like fighting your orgasm.
Yeah, it's really like it is. I mean, it's really like that. I don't know.
Oh my fucking god! What is this show, dude? What even is this show?
It's Deep Fat Fried. It's the Bantersode, you know.
Well, dude, like so like every time we have a Bantersode, I'm like thinking, I'm like, and occasionally something will pop in my head. I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to talk about that. But then I realize the nature of Bantersodes, and I'm just like, fuck that, dude. I might bring that up and be like, hey guys, isn't this crazy? And you'll be all like, flippity flams, flippity flams, look at these flippity flams. And it's like, okay, my point
It's always good to have like a few ideas in your back pocket in case like shit gets to the point where we're just like,
dude, that never happens.
I mean,
we just spent fucking like 15 minutes talking about the O face and shit.
Yeah, what are you talking about,
DJ? We couldn't wait to start this show. Like as we were sitting in the thing, we had a whole thing about that band Cell Dweller.
Yeah. So here's I'll tell you guys a little story. So I pop in today. Paul's already here. He's usually the first one here.
Usually, yeah.
Punctual Paul.
Yeah, punctual Paul.
That is true.
Scotty's usually the last, just in case anyone's wondering.
Save the best for last.
And I'm usually right in the middle, like the centrist pussy that I am. But I come in here, and Paul's like, you know, after we talked about some other crap, but eventually it came around to like, hey, TJ, you remember the band Cell Dweller? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't really recognize the name, but I might have heard some of theirs. I don't know why. It's like, I'm trying to figure out if this is like pussy rock or if this is hard rock, like, because I remember back in the day I thought it was hard as fuck, but now I'm just doing like, it's just kind of like pussy rock. And I'm like, I don't know. Let's take a listen. And so Paul sends me one of their songs. He's like, yeah, this song's called I Believe You, or I Want to Believe You, or something like that.
I Believe You. Yeah.
I Believe You. I listen to it. I'm like, it's very, very early 2000s, like kind of rock. I'm like,
I mean, it's early 2000s, but it's hard early 2000s.
Yeah. I mean, it's
like
got a hard edge, just a little bit of hardness, but it's like
kind of like an industrial sound.
It's got like
industrial.
It's super produced kind of, but it's got some hardness, but it's also got some kind of like some of the vocals are kind of like pussy vocals, but at the same time,
yeah, it's
they're
about
not like they're not totally into the pussy realm or whatever. So it was like, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. So we couldn't come to a fuck. I basically got stuck on the same place Paul did, right? So then Scotty pops in, and we're like, we need to get Scotty in on this. So we sent him to listen to the song. He listens for like 30 seconds. He's like this. And he's like, it's pussy rock. And we're just like, God damn it. All right, well, that settles it.
Yeah, that did.
Yeah, it happens like once every 2 or 3 months. You guys are just like, I don't know. Then you come to me and it's like, what do you think? And it's like, it's bullshit. You're like, all right, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, you're just like
yeah.
Scotty,
I mean, it's like if someone like I don't know. There's like something about Scotty where it's like he'll know if it's pussy rock or not. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not even just that. It's like Scotty has a different mode. Like you and I think, get trapped in our own minds, like arguing the pros and cons of things, and we're more prone to getting stuck between positions. Scotty is one of those people. He's analytical, right? So he'll just like, you give him an issue, whatever it is. In this case, it was, is Cell Dweller pussy rock? And he was very scientific about it. He was like, give me a song. And we gave him a song, and he sat there, like you said, and he listened, like, you know, and there was no like betrayal because like he was busy. The brain was processing this. It was like sorting, like it was putting Cell Dweller in the pussy rock column and putting it in the hard rock column and seeing where it fit. And then, you know, like you said, it took 15, maybe 20 seconds, and he turned it off and he was like, pussy rock. And that's it. That's the type of person he is. He's not going to dither between the two. He's not going to go like, well, it's kind of pussy rock. Like, that's me and you. That's
right.
What we.
And you know, the funny thing was, Paul was asking because he used to listen to this back in the day. And Scotty's reasoning for why it's pussy rock is like, I remember the type of dudes that listen to this, and they were pussies.
It's true. I'm not gonna
Dude, that's great.
Oh, man, though. Yeah.
Well, dude, Paul, I don't think Paul's ever, you know, here's the thing about Paul, though. Paul's never a dude that's ever come to me and ever represented himself as like tough. Like he's never been like, oh, manly man. I'm like most dudes you'll meet, like TJ's done to be like, what bitch? What go? You know, and shit. Like we've had our brolic moments. Like Paul's just kind of like, you get really mad at him. He's like, I don't know what do you want from me? Just I'm gonna leave. Get away.
Yeah.
You know, we ain't doing this. Like
I'm like a
some dudes will be like,
fighting is a last resort.
Yeah.
And I'm never gonna be the dude that like unless I think somebody's gonna like shoot my mom or something. Like I'm never gonna be the dude that throws the first punch. Like if something jumps off,
yeah,
you know, I'll probably try my best to hurt a person, but you know, like I'm not ever going to be the dude that starts that shit.
That's not your nature at all. I mean, 100% not. Like, and just it's obvious because like you're not. Like I said, I've never seen you like you're more of like a de-escalator type. See, Paul actually, and like we did the future episode, Paul would be like a cop in my world because and he would actually be good at it because Paul would be like, no, I don't think you guys should fight. Here's why you shouldn't fight.
It's like a function of how I grew up. I grew up around a lot of drinking and a lot of argumentative people. And so the need for a mediator was constant. Yeah. And like I wasn't always the only one because I argue too. You've seen how I argue.
Oh yeah. I mean, we've all had epic legendary fights on the show and off and everywhere else.
Like I'm aggressive in that way. And so sometimes other people, but like our family was like this weird circle of like super aggressive, like vocally super aggressive people where they really needed a third party to come in and be like, all right, like let's break this up and like actually talk about this. And so I know how to do both sides of that shit. And so I tend to like when other people are fucking arguing, either back away or just mediate it.
Yeah, TJ's style is more like conflict avoidance. Like he's gonna just ignore what you're saying, just try to like
TJ is conflict avoidance until the tea kettle boils over, and then TJ is like, fuck you, I'm leaving the show then. What happened the other day? What was it? I can't even remember. Something happened the other day. We had some argument before the show. You can't remember TJ in the wrong way about something on a bad day. I think that's what it was. You were like, you were stern.
I remember what it was.
Oh, you do you?
Yeah, I remember what it was. He was like, because I'm working on that talent show shit. Because we kind of like we kind of backburnered it for a while, and then I get on the show. He's like, "Where's that talent show at?" I'm like, I just started working on it again or whatever. Then there was something about like, I don't remember exactly how the phrasing went down, but it was something like,
he's like, you need to get on that or whatever.
No. It was something about like, what was it? Something about controlling stuff. Because he's like, you gotta, I don't fucking remember, but I fucking.
It was basically take charge of your shit.
Yeah, and then I was like, fuck you then, I'm leaving. I'll fucking show you what I can do.
I remember what it was.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Like, you said something to him. You said something to Scotty about like, yeah, you just need to like fucking stop being all aggressive or stop reacting that way and shit. And Scotty was like, dude, don't fucking tell me how to act. Like, you're not going to tell me how to act. That's what Scotty said. And then you were like, well, fine then. I'm fucking done. I'm leaving the show. And he like turned off your camera and walked away for 20 minutes.
Oh, no, I remember what he said. He said, you can't control how I act. So I was like, well, I can control how I act. Boom. And I fucking
That's what it was. Yeah.
It was something like, it was like something about like aggression or something like, but Paul was right. The summation was pretty much spot on, like the emotional side of it, which is like TJ felt like I was challenging him in some way. And then he got fucking mad and is all like, well, let me take my power back by walking away. Yep. What can you do now? Tell me something now. You can't. I've walked away.
I win.
I did the typical thing, which puts Paul in that fucking unenviable position of like, TJ's a son of a bitch, huh? And Paul's got like, hey, all right. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to be involved in this.
Like, I'm not dipping my toe into this.
No, you're wise.
It has nothing to do with Paul.
yeah. Does that have to do with me? Nope. I'm good. I don't want any part of it.
Yeah, that's another thing you learn though, is like you gotta empathize but not sympathize with people when you're like, when there's a fight that goes down and one person storms away, that other person immediately wants you to be like, man, that person that just stormed away was totally wrong and a piece of shit, right? You know what I mean?
Of course.
And when you're not involved in the argument, that's definitely not what happened. You know what I mean? And you don't want to, but you don't want to say no, they're not. You know what I mean? But you also don't want to say yes, they are, because they might be right around the corner. And now you're in.
Now you committed.
This is something my dad kind of he more talked about it with relationship stuff. He's like, listen, it's one of the few pieces of advice. I guess he gave advice here and there on stuff, but like most of it was not super great. But this was actually a good piece of advice. He was like, listen, man, if someone breaks up with their significant other and then they're talking shit about them to you or whatever, don't get into the shit talk. Don't be like, yeah, she was a dumb cunt or whatever the fuck, because they might get back together. and then he's gonna fucking tell her all the shit you said when they were broken up. You know?
Yeah, you want everything. What did Paul say? Paul said he just didn't get no.
It'll never be just directly ratting out Paul. It'll be like, baby, I can't believe some of my friends were telling me you were a dumb cunt. You know what I mean? She'll be like, excuse me, what? He's like, no, don't even worry about it, girl. It's just like, I don't even listen to them. They're stupid. Obviously, they don't know what they're talking about. I love you, baby. Which one called me a dumb cunt? You're going to tell me right now, or I'm just going to fucking leave. Seriously? It was Paul. And now you're fucked because now, you know, like if you've got friends and shit and their ladies hate you, it's it's a fucked situation because it doesn't matter how much the dude likes you anymore. If the chick hates you, it's over.
You're doomed.
You ain't kidding, dude.
You're basically you're almost you're not completely dead to that person, but you're pretty close to it.
Right. You're just like your arm's length and you know, you have to make sure you're alone to be bros. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, otherwise it's a really awkward
public situations. You're not, you know what I mean? Because if you're chilling and having a good time and yucking it up together, you're getting shit for it later. Oh, so that guy that called me a cunt for the 3 months we were broken up is all funny now, huh? At the party. Shit.
Oh, damn.
This hypothetical girl really does, in all fairness to hypothetical Paul, seem like kind of a cunt.
Yeah, well, usually, like if I'm gonna call somebody a cunt, they're a cunt. You know what I mean?
Probably are. Yeah, that's true.
I don't toss that word around a lot. You know, here in America, cunt is like in Great Britain, cunt is like a period. You know what I mean? Like
with Australia.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to explain to people. Like, cunt is way more severe here.
I don't think, and I'm trying to really think about it. I don't think that I've ever called a woman that I've been with a cunt in a fight. Like, I might have jokingly been like, fuck you, cunt, you know, or whatever, just jokingly.
Right.
But I've never been like, you being a fucking cunt right now. I don't think I've ever done that. I've gone the bitch route.
Oh yeah.
I think everyone's gone that route for the most part. I mean, like people that claim they never fight, it's like, oh man, good for you, man. But I'm definitely a fucking fighter. Not so much like in the sense like obviously just verbally, but like I just like to argue in general. So I'm fine arguing. Yeah, and if I've got heated, but like then is like I don't care what like someone as far as that like it's personal, we can actually hash it out. I don't care what they say. Like I might get more mad about it, but like in a sense, like you kind of like it to someone like me because I value honesty. So if someone's like, I think you're a piece of shit and all this other shit, it's like, all right, well, I think you're a piece of shit now. Let me tell you why you're a piece of shit.
I gotta say, Diet Dr. Pepper is the best of the diet drinks. In case anyone's wondering,
dude. I think Coke Zero. I'm sorry.
I mean, Boo, Diet Dr. Pepper is like, I mean, it's all right, but
I'm just saying, like, well, listen, I mean, diet drinks kind of suck across the board. The diet versions of real sodas are usually pretty shit.
Yes, all the diet versions are garbage.
I gotta say though, that Diet Dr. Pepper gets closer to regular Dr. Pepper than any other drink gets to its imitation. In my
You're
opinion.
wrong.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Scotty.
You
know what? You're right. Honestly, the diet A&W is pretty close.
I don't know how the fuck they do it, but that shit pretty much it's a little bit different. They don't have that. It's not quite as sweet.
Yeah, it's not quite as good, but it's
pretty fucking close.
You're right. You're right about that.
I don't know,
but I feel like the Diet Dr. Pepper's on that same level though. But
I feel like diet sodas are in a different. Like I don't know if my opinion on this is going to be a popular one, but I feel like diet sodas are in a different class of drink than non-diet sodas are.
Sure,
and
but they're seeking to emulate, you know.
Right, but I don't really look at diet sodas necessarily as an attempt to emulate the original because they never come close. Like Diet Coke tastes nothing like Coke.
Right.
No.
But I still like Diet Coke. Like I'll sit and sip a frosty, ice cold Diet Coke and enjoy it.
Sure.
Like, so.
You know what we'll take if you don't like Diet Coke, you know, one thing that I've found that's like you can do to like kind of I don't know. It makes it taste better for some reason. It like kind of like takes that diet taste out of it. Is like put a little lemon in it. But the problem is if you do that at a restaurant, which I guess no one's really going to restaurants right now because of COVID, but if you do that at a restaurant, they'll fucking sometimes mistake it for tea and pour tea in your cup. So you do run that risk, but
it's a very minor risk. Dude.
But it takes the diet edge off. That's, you
just got to keep your cup like away from the edge of the table where it's easily accessible. You know what I mean? If that's possible at the restaurant you're at, because like if it's like a big open seating kind of thing, sometimes that waiter or waitress will peer over your shoulder with a pitcher of shit that you ain't drinking. And just like before you even notice, your cup is half full of it.
I still remember the time me and Scotty, I think we were at Applebee's. We might have been at Chili's. We were at one of these chain restaurants though. And Scotty was putting on this so fucking ridiculous over the top fucking schmoozy routine.
Well, me and you made a bet.
Did we?
You made a bet with me.
Okay, what was the bet? Because I don't remember.
I remember this. And I'm like, man, I go fucking whatever. I'll go talk to someone, befriend somebody in 10 fucking minutes or whatever. And you're like, no, you fucking can't. No, you won't. I'm like, let's go. See, we went to Applebee's. You're like, okay, befriend the fucking waiter. And I was like, all right, you really want me to? And she didn't know me, and everyone knows me. Like, I'm not going to be Mr. fucking friendly. I'm usually the opposite. I'm just like, I'm not mean to you, but I'm just like, hey, how you doing? Okay, yep, let's just have our interaction. Let that be it. And she just like, all right, go ahead. This guy comes over the table. He's used to people being like, I want all this. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? Like, who are you? Let's have a conversation. So me and this guy are having a conversation at the end of the fucking meal. And TJ can testify to this. This guy fucking shook, man. He's like, I'm so-and-so, man. Yeah, like, let's, like, we're cool. Let's, like, fucking hang out and shit.
Yeah, and it was...
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, and it was so gross, though, because, like, everything you were doing was so fucking fake. I was like, oh, this is not going to work. This guy is fucking probably detest Scotty and stuff. But at the end, he's like, yeah, man, it was a real pleasure fucking... I'm like, oh, God. It was over the top. Scotty's like, yeah, man, that's some good stuff, like that. And I'm like, I know the real Scotty, so I'm like, oh my God, it's so wrong and so weird, and so fucking fake. But then the dude at the end is like, yeah, Scotty's a cool dude. It's like, fuck me, man. No, he's not. Scotty's a horrible person. Don't believe this fucking random waiter guy. Dude, no,
TJ.
Yeah,
it's not that hard to fuck, dude. I'm telling you, like, I people talk about making friends, like a social interaction. I mean, I'm not like Mr. Like, I want to be friends with everybody. But dude, just going to, like, I went to a random fucking bar in San Antonio. We were going to like the Royal Rumble, right? And I had a meeting like fucking 5 different people. I met a guy from SpaceX, which that was just a random weird thing. I had some fucking bullshit intellectual. I'm like, SpaceX is great, man. And I asked a bunch of shit like, you met Elon Musk? He's like, I have met Elon Musk. I'm like, that's fucking weird. So I had some weird conversation about that. But I meet these 2 dudes that are also going to the Royal Rumble. I talked to them for a while. And then literally when we're going to the Royal Rumble, they're fucking calling out my name. Like someone's like, Scotty! And I look over these 2 dudes. I'm like, how the fuck do I know these dudes? How do they know my name? What the fuck is going on? I'm like, hey, man. Then finally it clicked in my mind. I'm like, bar, drunk, people. I'm like, oh, okay. I met these fucking people. All right, let me go back to my seat now. And I was all like, so, dude, like, I don't know. I'm not a super friendly guy, but I've ended up meeting some fucking random people that remembered me for some reason. So I don't know. It just works for me. Maybe it doesn't work for you, but it works for me.
I mean, you're like, what we're talking about is something that I learned about the first time I started reading Shakespeare. And you read the famous, like, all the world's a stage. All the men and women merely players. They have their entrances and exits, and one man in his time plays many parts. So it's like the idea, and there's a psychological theory about this too. I think it was Jung that talked about the masks that we wear.
Yeah.
Like, I may be wrong about that, but it was one of these, earlier psychologists and philosophers of the mind,
some Austrian or something,
that was obsessed with this idea of, the fact that we really have these different personalities that we use in different situations, and different social situations require us to, like adopt a different tact, and all of us do it. And it's not necessarily disingenuous. Like, it comes off that way if you look at it, from a critical standpoint, but as human beings, it's just like a survival mechanism. It's like being able to get along with people is, even if you're a person like Scotty, who's naturally in his natural state is kind of abrasive and unapproachable sometimes, you know, when you don't know him, especially, Scotty has to have the ability to reach out to other people that he doesn't know and ask them for help or engage them, you know, in business transaction and shit like that. You know what I mean? So he's got to have the mask of like, how do I talk to this fucking doofus that I don't want to talk to and make him cool?
That's
you know? It's the same shit though. Like
no, because that's exactly like, if you know me, that's exactly how I talk about it. Like, I gotta talk to this motherfucking piece of shit now. Like, I don't want to fucking talk to this fucking guy. Hey, how you doing?
Right.
I think everyone has it to some degree. I agree with you. Because I mean, you have to. I mean, like, I don't want to talk to them, but like, I know I need to do it because I need to get this problem solved, and I'm not really capable, or I'm not the best person to solve it.
Right. You know, despite your nature, that you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know the social tactic of putting on the smiley, friendly, gregarious, hey, I'm just another bro and need mask, you know, or whatever the fuck it is. Whatever you got to do to get what you need from the person. And we all do it. You know, I've seen TJ do it too. TJ's got his weird social modes that he kicks in and out of. TJ's gearbox is a little rusty. His transitions are sometimes don't happen. Like sometimes TJ just remains TJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like I'm not I'm not as I don't know. If all the world's a stage, maybe I'm not the best actor because I feel like I just blunder into a lot of shit with the same basic attitude and not really.
But I've seen you kick into that. Like, I remember being around you in LA that time that you went on the Rogan show, right? And I remember how serious you got in preparation for that. Like, you were not fucking, like, it wasn't like you were not joking around or anything, but like your preparation for that social interaction and your presentation in that social interaction was different from your average. It wasn't bad and it wasn't not you. It was just like not how you would sit down and talk to Scotty. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And so you definitely do it. I think you're just less likely to do it than like me. I do it all the time. I'm like a complete chameleon. I am what I need to be based on who I'm talking to. That's just kind of what I am. It's what I do.
Yeah, not me. I just fucking if I get in an unpredictable situation, I just pull out my 9 and shoot him in the head. That's what I do. It's like, oh, awkward moment.
Or you just say, or
I'll tell you what though, TJ, you have an advantage in that.
What's that? More likely you just say fuck you and walk away. Like that's your there's certain people like, you know, that I socialize with and stuff, like where I feel like, okay, I gotta like tone it down. You know what I mean? Like, not so much like put on a different personality, but just like take what it is and just like, let's crank TJ down to like 10%. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, is there any social situation where outside of, I guess, your wife, where you're 100% TJ?
No. Even then, no. No, you don't want 100%. Like 100% TJ is just drunk TJ.
Right.
You don't want that. That's dangerous to myself and others.
I've been around drunk TJ. I don't know. Drunk TJ is sweet sometimes, though.
Oh, yeah. But like, that's the thing is like, it can oscillate between, you know, like a lot of drunk people, obviously, you know, but it's like a fucking crazy pendulum of like, yeah, man, you know, I just respect you so much. You fucking piece of shit. I hate you. Oh, man, you're a good person. You know, it's like,
yeah, so I've never seen it oscillate like that, but yeah, there is a progression that happens where, but yeah, I don't know, drunk TJ.
I don't know. TJ being drunk. If TJ is drunk, generally, I'm generally drunk too.
Yeah, so like usually
have all the fucking fun.
Usually if there's drunk TJ, there's drunk Scotty, and drunk Scotty is every bit as intense as drunk TJ. So it's kind of like, you know.
We usually end up getting separated because that's usually a very bad idea.
Oh my god, what would we even be like?
We've experienced it before. Like usually just like fighting, arguing, stealing shit from each other, attacking in any way possible, and then just like fuck you. All right, kind of a mutual like animosity of like, all right, fine, like. Well, you just had that with the brotherly thing, anyways. You kind of have that dynamic, and then it's just like, fuck you. Last time you were drunk, though, you were beyond drunk, though. You weren't even like,
Yeah, that was
You were
too. That was
operational last time you got drunk. You were just fucking done.
Yeah, they fucking put me in the fucking wheelchair. I mean, that wasn't the last time I was drunk, but that was the last time I was fucked up, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, we were fucked up at the same time.
They put me in Galen's fucking wheelchair and like wheeled me off, and I don't remember any of it.
Dude, there was a point where there was this like intense conversation going on about how you were going to navigate that backstage area, because it was like littered with, it wasn't well lit.
No.
Like the way that we had to exit you wasn't well lit, and it was strewn with like shit that you could fall and bust your skull on. You know what I mean? So it was just like, who is going to be holding TJ? And like my name was never in that hat. Like there was never a point where they were like, and then Paul should be bracing TJ. You know what I mean? Like it was like Steve and Stevie basically quarterbacking most of that, as I remember it.
Yeah.
And I made sure that you got in the wheelchair and that they were going to wheel you through that fucking mess. And then I just left.
Oh,
I was like, I'm fucking out of here.
Speaking of leaving, looks like Scotty's decided to abandon us.
The curse.
Oh, there he's back.
Yeah, he's back. But who knows if
he's not.
Back.
He's not actually back.
It's one of those things. He's
fake
trying
back.
to come out, but his internet is taking a fucking dump. Oh,
It's
well.
the kind of thing Taylor loves to edit.
Of course.
There he is.
Back.
Guess who's back? Back again. Scott is back. Tell a friend.
And Paul, you were I like that picture that I pulled for that episode, but like you look drunk in that picture. Like if I had not known better, I'd be like, dude, Paul was wasted.
Dude,
like,
that night I was so sweaty. Like I could not stop. I brought, because I knew it was just like the swampiest fucking day of the year. I can't remember. It was in July, wasn't it, that we did it?
No, dude, it was in the last meetup was in like I think September.
Dude,
or August, something like that.
It was
It's still the summer down here.
It was like 100% humidity, 92 degrees outside.
Yeah, that's about right.
I was drenched, and I brought 4 shirts that night in my backpack that I put in the green room to change in and out of, because I knew I was going to sweat all these fucking shirts through. And then that guy Peyton, who always, when he shows up to the meetups, he brings us a bunch of shirts. He brought shirts. Dude, I sweat through every fucking shirt. I wore all of Peyton's shirts. He brought me like 2 shirts. I brought like 3. I sweat through 5 fucking shirts at that meetup. It was absurd.
Are you serious?
Yes. I could not, like, my body got in the mode of like sweat. And it was a combination of like how hot it was, and then just like the exertion of being gregarious constantly to like this line of people who all want to meet you, you know? Like it's not like physical exertion, but it's just like mental exertion. Yeah, let's take a selfie, and doing that 200 times, you know? It's like I sweat my fucking balls off that night, so I was just sweaty. Which oftentimes, like a lot of drunk people are. They're just sweaty.
Drunk people are a bunch of fucking morons.
Well, Scotty is clearly gonna have to restart his internet or something. So do we stop recording, give him time to do that, or do we just keep fucking bantering it up?
On we plow.
On we plow.
On we fucking plow.
I have something. I did bring something to the table to talk about, TJ, and I don't know if you want to jump into it.
Bring it to the fucking table, bitch.
There it is. It's on the table.
Build back. Oh, man. Yeah, the build back better. So someone sent me this and was like, actually, I criticized this on Twitter, and someone actually'd me. I guess that this is like an existing term for something. Like this is not original to his campaign.
Doesn't matter.
It's like something. It's like some term about like rebuilding a disaster area after a fucking incident or whatever the fuck. But I don't care what the origins are. All I can tell you is it just seems grammatically incorrect. Oh shit. Okay, I guess now it's just me. It seems grammatically incorrect. It seems like it's missing a clause.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I went ahead without you. I just on we plow, even if it's just me and myself. But I basically just said that it seems grammatically incorrect. It seems like it's missing a clause or something. Like if it was build it back better or something like that, I'd be like, okay, sure. Right. But just build back better. I don't know. I guess it's just because there's B's. Like they just wanted B. Build back better, Biden.
It's terrible.
It's really one of the worst, especially when you're dealing with like MAGA. That's like a fucking like the campaign slogan that will not die, that people continue to fucking chant and worship to this day. And then this is such a throwaway.
It actually fucking sounds like something that he would say and when he's having a senior moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it actually sounds like a sentence or a quote from Biden. Welcome back, Scotty. We're talking about Biden's campaign slogan, Build Back Better.
Build back better.
Which has got to be, it's got to be one of the most fucking insanely lame fucking slogans of all time. But that may or may not be true. I did pull something for us to discuss today. In lieu of this.
Okay.
So, Scotty, since you just joined us, if you've got anything to say about this slogan, please do so now.
It feels like it should be a Daft Punk song.
Build back better.
That's just how I feel. Like my gut reaction is like, this is a Daft Punk song. Like
harder, better.
So look, if he wants to win, call it Daft Punk. Be like, look, we need official Biden campaign song, and they'll do it because like they're not gonna like Trump. They're gonna be like, all right, Trump sucks. Fine,
I don't think Daft Punk is looking to fucking jump in bed with Biden, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll do it.
If you just show them Trump, they'll probably at least consider it.
Maybe.
That's all I'm saying.
So I did this with my girlfriend last night because we were looking at this and laughing about this horrible slogan because I saw it on TJ's page and I was like, what the fuck, is this real? And then I went and looked and was like, yep, this is real.
Yeah.
And I was like, has there been like, I bet there's been a worse slogan. And I went and looked, and of course, Wikipedia, the show.
Right.
There is a list of all campaign slogans going all the way back.
Okay. Cool.
Where do you guys want to start? Because we kind of jumped around and it was more fun that way rather than just going through them. So, like, what era do you want to see some campaign slogans from?
1984.
So you want to do like our childhood era, start in the 80s and work our way through the 90s and shit?
I don't know. I just want to see 1984.
Let's do the years we were born.
Okay. Well, I mean, 84 is the closest I can get to my birth year because I didn't know a campaign the year I was born. But you got ones.
I was born. There goes Scotty again, unfortunately.
Oh, well. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? That was Reagan's.
And see, this
which
right
is a very
here,
effective one, actually.
Yeah, this right here has stuck around and has been used by both sides. So this was a really like foundational one. And of course, the next one
the
is
original
Reagan's.
MAGA.
Yep, the one that Trump ripped off, the Let's Make America Great Again.
Well, Trump got rid of the Let's. He realized the Let's was unnecessary. So
he was, of course, running against Jimmy Carter, and their slogan with Carter and Mondale's slogan was a tested and trustworthy team, which is kind of a tongue twister,
and also just like so bland.
It's very reminiscent of Build Back Better.
Yeah, it is. Because see, like, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? That's as well as being a slogan. It's like evocative of like, am I? And let's make America, obviously make America great again. Fucking just works as a slogan. It worked then. It works now. A tested and trustworthy team that has no staying power. That has no legs. Has no excitement. There's no emotion to that. It's just like, yeah, eat oatmeal. It's good for you. It's like real fucking bland and prosaic and just
We landed in kind of an interesting era, so let's just keep going through it. In 1988,
we're not going to do 84.
In 1984, Ronald Reagan's re-election campaign slogan was "It's morning again in America." So he was talking about how, which is I think way better a transition away from "Let's Make America Great Again."
Then it's Keep America Great, yeah.
Right.
But it's almost the same.
It's almost the same, but it changed. The tone changed a little bit.
Yeah, it's morning again in America. It makes it sound like, yeah, we're like the dawn of a new age. All you got to do is keep on with the Reagan. Like, things have been good under Reagan, you guys. It's the dawn of a new age.
Jimmy Carter's vice president was the Democratic challenger. Walter Mondale was the guy running against the opposition against Reagan, and his slogan was for new leadership. Also, America needs new leadership. Very kind of
it's just kind of like it doesn't even feel like a slogan. It's just kind of like yeah.
I did like his last slogan though, which became kind of his unofficial slogan for his run, which is "Where's the beef?"
I feel it.
He kind of stole it from the that Wendy's ad about with the old ladies, as it says here.
Yeah. But where's the beef at? They're looking at the fucking burger, and there's like a little tiny.
Right, and he was using that to imply that like Reagan's talking about how it's morning again in America, but where's the beef?
Yeah, I mean it's better. It's definitely better than for new leadership.
Then in '88 we had a transfer of power. Reagan could not run again.
Right.
And at this point was in no shape to run again. He was addled by dementia by this point.
So you have Bob Dole in there.
So Bob Dole, a leader for America, he jumped in.
So that's the lamest. That's fucking just give up now. You suck.
The one that ended up winning was George H.W. Bush, Bush Jr.'s daddy. And his was a kinder, gentler nation.
Yeah, and the 1,000 points of light thing.
And the 1,000. He had a lot of little memes.
Read my lips, no new taxes. I don't know. So he did new taxes, so he broke that one. The 1,000 points of light one is the one I remember being the most famous. Like that was like his big, thing.
So H.W. Bush eventually secured the Republican nomination, and this was his opponent. Michael Dukakis, whose slogan was "On Your Side."
Yeah, just like every news agency across America.
Yeah,
6 on your side.
Ran in '88. He made an actual, genuine, legitimate, and credible run for the presidency in '88. His was "Keep Hope Alive."
All right, good for him.
Right.
Didn't work out, but still.
Here's a brilliant one. When you get to 92 in Clinton's, because this is midstream, right? So this is one George H.W. Bush presidency, or one term in.
Yeah.
And his challenger was Bill Clinton.
Right.
Probably the strongest Democratic challenger in my lifetime. And he had a great slogan, "For people, for a change." It's
I like
great.
it because it's a double meaning.
Double entendre, right?
Yeah.
So it's for people, for a change, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's for people for a change.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So very clever. It's
Very
actually
clever.
a slogan.
It can be taken both ways, and either way it's taken, it's a good slogan. It's time to change America.
A little more generic, but whatever.
A theme. Putting people first was a Bill Clinton slogan. It's the economy, stupid, became a meme because he said it during a debate.
Originally intended for an internal audience, it became a de facto slogan for the Bill Clinton campaign. Yep.
Stand by the president.
That's so lame. It's basically saying, I'm already president now, so might as well keep me president again.
Yep. A proud tradition.
No.
And here is one that we'll actually hear about in a little bit that's horrible.
Oh, yeah. America first.
No. Don't change the team in the middle of the stream with George H.W. Bush and this idiot, the guy that spells potato, Pototoe,
Yeah.
in front of a bunch of kindergartners or something. Dan, probably the dumbest guy before Trump to ever serve in high office in this country, Dan Quayle.
Yeah, he was pretty sad.
Don't change the team in the middle of the stream. This was actually a stolen slogan. We'll see that later, I guess, if we look at some of the older ones. See, this is a weird election cycle. Pat Buchanan was vying for the Republican spot because he was like, fuck this, Bush sucks. So Pat Buchanan was down in here, down with King George, send Bush a message, conservative of the heart. a voice for the voiceless. These are all
too many slogans, bro. You got too many.
And then Ross Perot was the big spoiler in this election too. Ross for the boss.
Yeah, no one wants to think of you as the boss. No one wants to think of the president as their boss, really. So,
well, how about his next one then? I'm Ross and you're the boss.
See, that's better. And then leadership for a change. You kind of just ripping off Bill's slogan there.
Oh, he was. He knew it was a strong slogan.
Yeah, but you can't steal it in the same year. I mean, it just doesn't work. You got to wait a few election cycles.
Yeah. So, let's see. Let's go back in time a little bit.
All right. Take me back in time.
Let's look
in time.
Look for the word team as we go back in time.
The winning team. Nope.
Because we're gonna go back and we'll look at prohibition because there were some lousy ones in there. But if you go all the way back, let's see. I
don't see no teams.
Yeah, you know what the problem is? I searched for the wrong word. We need to search for the word horses.
Vote yourself a farm and horses. Don't change horses midstream. Abraham
There
Lincoln.
it is.
Oh, you stole from Lincoln? What the fuck, dude?
They ripped off Abraham Lincoln and actually made it worse because it was don't change the team in the middle of the stream. They tried to make a little rhyme out of it.
Right, but it doesn't make any sense because, yeah, but this actually makes sense. Changing horses, don't change horses midstream actually fucking makes sense. It's like, oh, yeah, I get it. Okay. I mean, it's still kind of dumb, but I mean, I don't like the logic of it, but at least.
Of course, we're looking now at another really interesting era in American history. Abraham Lincoln's slogans were vote yourself a farm and horses, honest old Abe.
There you go.
The Union must and shall be preserved. Protection to American industry. True to the Union and the Constitution to the last was his opponent, Stephen A. Douglas. He had a number of opponents, I guess. John Bell had the Union and the Constitution.
The Union and the Constitution.
In 1864, as the Civil War raged, don't change horses in midstream was his big one, I guess. McClellan, his opponent in 1864, was an honorable, permanent, and happy peace.
Okay, good for you, McClellan. You nailed it.
Grant, of course, succeeded Lincoln.
Let us have peace. Vote as you shot. How's that? Horatio Seymour said peace, union, and constitutional government.
Didn't work for him.
A lot of slogans suck. Oh, and then Grant's like, grant us another term, dude. Get
dad
it? His slogan was a fucking dad joke about his name.
And he got in it.
Yeah, you know, what you gonna do?
Turn the rascals out, universal amnesty, and partial suffrage.
Greeley. Okay.
Showing support for reconciling with the Confederacy.
Good for him. Romanism, and rebellion. Okay.
So yeah, we're starting to look at let's go forward, and I liked Taft, a square deal for all. I like Taft's because it sounds like a square meal for all.
Yeah.
And you know that's what was on his mind.
He also said in 1912, it is nothing but fair to leave Taft in the chair. It's like a lot of these guys, it's crazy how many of these fucking incumbents just run on like, I'm the incumbent. I mean, you picked me once. Come on.
Yeah. America First and America Efficient was the first appearance of America First, which is a huge campaign slogan now.
America First.
Made by unsuccessful candidate Charles Evans Hughes.
Looks kind of like an old fucking goddamn, what's his name? John Travolta kind of.
He does, yeah.
I guess John Travolta himself is old at this point, but he kind of looks like John Travolta at this point. Return to normalcy. that's Warren G. Harding. Like, I guess things were getting weird around 1920. Is like, goddamn, shit's fucked up. We need to fucking return to normalcy, y'all. Woodrow Wilson has done fucked this shit up.
Right. War in Europe, peace in America. God bless Wilson. So this was Woodrow Wilson not being. This was kind of like the death of isolationism in America. Because Woodrow Wilson ran on this staunch anti-interventionalism campaign.
Dude, check out Calvin Coolidge's re-election shit in 1924. Keep cool and keep Coolidge.
It worked.
And these dad joke based on like names, even Who But Hoover, like these guys, man. If you had a name you could fucking make some kind of pun off of.
I'm telling you, as we get into the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, these start to get wacky and racy.
Oh, okay.
If you can believe it. Here's 1928 President Hoover's Who But Hoover. You just said it. Honest, able, fearless for Al Smith. Al Smith was a crazy, wet Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
And look at his last one here. Make your wet dreams come true.
I love it.
Al Smith was a crazy, hard-drinking New York wet Democrat that was running and did not quite had a very contentious convention as well.
Dude, if only Al Smith had won, our country would be a better place today. That's all I'm going to say.
Probably so. In 1932, Happy Days Are Here Again by Franklin D. Roosevelt, the longest serving president of the United States ever.
By far.
And his slogans get kind of weird.
We are turning the corner.
Alfred M. Landon ran against him in 1936, saying, defeat the New Deal and its reckless spending. This was the first neoconservative, by the way.
Yeah, he looks awesome. Thank God for him.
Check him out. The birth of the neoconservative. Get rid of this reckless spending that saved the entire fucking country.
Enough of this bullshit.
Here was another of his brilliant ones. Because it was the New Deal, right? Let's get another deck.
Oh.
Here's a pun. Let's make it a landing slide.
Landing slide. Didn't quite work out for you, did it, buddy? It wasn't even close, by the way.
Landon.
Oh, yeah. I love how FDR's just like, remember Hoover?
Yep.
It's like, remember how this shit was before? I fucking fixed it. That's pretty crazy when you can just be like, remember my fucking opponent from back then? Yeah. He's not even running against the Landon guy. He's running against fucking Hoover still. I love it. Doesn't even take Landon fucking seriously. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Here's his weird one. Better a third termer than a third rater.
I mean, he's saying his opponent's fucking third rate, you know?
Pretty awesome. Yeah. I want Roosevelt again. Wilkie for millionaires, Roosevelt for the millions. This is some.
There you go.
This is some woke ass, based ass shit right here, dude.
Carry on with Roosevelt, sure, whatever.
Then there was no third term, no fourth term either.
Wendell Wilkie. Roosevelt for ex-president. There's no indispensable man. We want Wilkie. We win with Wilkie. Yeah, he looks awesome.
Terrible name.
Yeah, no one's gonna fucking vote for no motherfucker named Wilkie, dude.
Here it is again. Not the first to rip off Abe Lincoln in 1944. Don't swap horses in midstream comes right back again.
Yeah, and it's still horses though. They didn't fuck around with this stupid. Don't change the team in the middle of the stream.
Yep.
See, that slogan I feel like works a lot better if there's like crazy shit going on.
How about Thomas Dewey's pun here, TJ?
Do we or don't we?
What do you think about that?
I feel like that's pretty dumb because it doesn't even really imply anything.
For butt sex,
yeah,
not a
like,
campaign slogan.
I mean, and you look at him, it kind of seems like maybe,
do we, TJ, or don't we?
Do we or don't we, honey? Yeah, I don't know.
This one in 1948, I'm Just Wild About Harry.
Yeah, I mentioned that when we were talking about the episode when we were doing the songs or whatever.
We're looking at some campaign slogans from history here, Scotty. Sorry you dropped.
Yeah, dude, it's just typical bullshit. Had to fucking do everything under the sun. So
The internet,
of course.
But, yeah, we just kind of kept on, and we've been looking at these weird campaign slogans from the past.
Oh, I like this one. Better a third termer than a third raider.
Yeah. We just talked about Roosevelt's weird campaign slogan. You've missed a few, but there's some that the best is yet to come, Scotty. You have not missed the best of these. I went through these with my girlfriend Amelia last night because we were laughing about the Joe Biden one and saying, like, have there been worse ones? The answer is yes. By the way, there have been. In 1948. I'm just wild about Harry for Harry Truman, which
mention that in the earworms episode at the end, because I had both of you tell me what your earworms were, and that was Paul's. I'm just wild about Harry. Yeah,
pour it on him, Harry. Give him hell, Harry.
I like that one. Give him hell.
Yeah, it's getting kind of spicy now in politics in the 40s.
40s politics got crazy.
Getting the fight for states' rights was Strom Thurmond, who, by the way, only recently croaked. It was served in the Senate forever. When did Strom Thurmond die? 10 years ago?
It wasn't that long ago.
48 years, according to that, in the U.S. Senate.
Strom Thurmond, he died in 2003, so it was a while ago, but God, he was old as fuck, though.
Jesus.
Didn't it turn out that even though he was a super virulent racist, he was fucking his black maid the whole time and
I'm pretty sure that's true.
Had kids with her and shit too.
Thomas Dewey came back with another pun. He had Dewey or don't we, remember? Do it with Dewey.
Why are all of his campaign slogans sound like sexual propositions?
Do it with Dewey. Dewey or don't we?
Do it. It's time you do it with Dewey. Hey, maybe I these name puns, they work sometimes, and then other times it's you're best avoiding them. Trump's stupid for not using, because should have been you've been trumped, or play the Trump card or some shit. He doesn't fuck with that. He's got the perfect name for something like that, and he doesn't even do it. Pussy.
So John F. Kennedy's campaign slogan in 1960 was "A Time for Greatness." 1960.
Yep.
An oddly sad and prescient campaign slogan, yes?
Yeah, his campaign slogan, it'd be more ironic, though, if his campaign slogan was I promise I won't get shot, or something like that,
Yeah. He ran against Richard Nixon at the time.
Peace, experience, prosperity.
Yeah, peace, experience, and prosperity.
Pretty generic. All the way with LBJ.
Yeah, I like that one, dude.
Yeah, these start to get sexual in the 60s and 70s, particularly. All the way with LBJ. In your guts, he's nuts, which was a Lyndon B. Johnson slogan answering Goldwater's slogan.
Which was in your heart, he's right.
Right. In your guts, he's nuts.
Yeah, that's a pretty lame slogan.
It worked though.
No, I'm not. No, I meant in your heart, he's right.
Oh yeah,
that's
right.
pretty dumb. Let's see.
There's not really anything all that interesting in 68, but in 72, it gets a little spicy. How about this? They can't lick our dick.
Popular campaign slogan for Nixon supporters. They can't lick our dick.
Counter slogan: Dick Nixon before he dicks you.
There's also, don't change dicks in the midst of a screw. Vote Nixon in 72. They kind of fucking, little fucking variation on the horses midstream.
They took Nixon, who was probably one of the more straight-laced, fucking conservative, button-down, socially awkward presidents we ever had.
Dude, but it was the edgy-ass 70s, so they had to have shit like this.
Yep. They can't lick our dick, dude.
I mean, look, obviously America has a long-standing tradition of loving puns in their presidential campaigns based on the president's name. And if you got a guy named Dick, I mean, are you not going to take advantage of that?
What about this one? Acid, amnesty, and abortion for all.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Obviously, aimed at the Democrats.
Like that, but unironically. That's if I ever run for president, that's going to be my unironic campaign slogan.
So I love that Jimmy Carter won against Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford's slogan in 76 was "He's making us proud again." Jimmy Carter won on not just peanuts.
All right, good for him.
A leader for a change, which Bill Clinton ripped off.
Yeah, Bill Clinton did rip that off.
He made it better.
Yeah, Bill Clinton did it. Bill Clinton improved upon it, but he did rip it off.
He had "Why Not the Best," which sounds like a peanut slogan and not a campaign slogan. And then he and his running mate Walter Mondale were known on the campaign trail as Peaches and Cream.
Wow, he's peaches just like you.
How fucking wholesome.
That lasted one term, and now we're back to the 80s with Reagan. So we kind of started here, Scotty. So we went through the 80s and 90s. We looked at all of.
Go to the net. What was John Kerry? Let me ask you this, Scotty. What was John Kerry's campaign slogan? 2004.
I remember this. Wasn't it "Help is on the way"?
Is it? Okay, let's see if you're right.
Let's see.
Something like that.
Well, let's look at Al Gore.
America.
We're on our way.
All right,
Al Gore, leadership for the new millennium. Blah blah blah. The 2001 was.
Oh, remember compassionate conservatism? That was fucking funny.
Yep.
All right, 2004.
That was wrong.
I don't see it.
Here's a sad one.
Dean for America.
Destroyed by his which is the best I can do of his thing. That
John Kerry was "Let America Be America Again."
Yes.
Oh, all right. A stronger America. Okay.
It's another weird year. Barack Obama, of course, with the iconic "Yes, we can."
Yeah. Unfortunately, no, we didn't. But all right.
Yeah. His official campaign slogan:
"Change we can believe in," or
and
just change.
We need and just change.
Yeah. Change was a good one. Like, I can't believe no one just did change before him. Like, it's so fucking. It just gets right to the fucking heart of it. And he didn't do that, but I mean, it was a good fucking way to get elected.
Hope.
Change. Hope.
Running against McCain with his country first.
Country first. Should have just went with America first.
Yeah, I mean America, but he wouldn't have been the first. He would have been ripping off somebody, but
yeah, like America first, third, or something.
Ralph Nader, of course, was a candidate in this election. People fighting back, and we'll fight back.
We're not gonna take it.
And Hillary Clinton, ready for change, ready to lead. Back in
Hillary, why do your campaign slogan suck so bad?
I believe her campaign slogan, "Ready for change." The change is that Hillary will be elected president and ready to lead. I believe she is.
Here are the other ones that she used during the campaign: big challenges, real solutions, and time to pick a president.
Actually, that's all part of one. That's big challenges, real solutions, time to pick a president. It's horrible.
In to win.
Working for change, working for you, and the strength and experience to make change happen.
God, she sucks.
She just ripped off Obama's change, though.
She's awful.
2012, Obama, another one word.
Forward. Don't remember that one as much.
Dick, but at this point, he really didn't need to do much.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm Obama, bitch. What do you want?
Forward.
I ain't losing this. Remember that debate? He showed up and he didn't even try, and people were like, "Damn, Obama kind of sucked in that debate." And he's like, "Oh shit, I guess I better try a little." You remember that?
Step it up a little.
You remember that shit? Like Obama showed up to that first debate and he was just kind of like asleep.
Mitt the shit Romney, believe in America. What do you guys feel about that one?
That's totally generic.
Then he picked this fucking loser piece of shit as his running
mate. Yeah, I forgot about that. Gross.
And said his slogan became America's comeback team.
Yeah,
because he was already so fucking behind Obama in the polls, it was laughable.
Obama isn't working. Okay.
Obama isn't working, which he wasn't. But
yeah, no one wants to hear from you.
It came from this guy and this guy, so nobody really wanted to hear it.
Restore our future.
Rick Santorum also made a run.
I forgot about Rick Santorum, dude.
Courage to fight for America.
His campaign slogan should be like, "Don't Google my name."
Of course, rest in peace. Ron Paul made a run at it as well. This is around the time TJ was a hardcore libertarian.
Yeah, but I didn't support Ron Paul.
Yeah.
But also, Ron Paul's not dead.
I thought he died.
He is not dead, dude.
In my universe, he died.
Well, he's not dead in this one. Sorry.
In my universe, Ron Paul, let me see.
He's not dead, dude. I swear to you, he's not dead.
In the Berenstein universe, unfortunately, Dr. Paul has passed away. I'm sorry, TJ.
Okay. In the Berenstain universe?
I only come to the Berenstain universe to do this show, by the way. In the Berenstein universe, I get my dick sucked for a living. It's crazy. I'll have to tell you guys about it sometime.
Wild.
You should hear what you do in the Berenstein universe, TJ. You're going to fucking flip shit.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, we're getting kind of to the modern era now. It's worth looking at because there was a crazy amount of candidates in 2016.
Oh, yeah.
So, of course, Donald Trump ripping off Reagan here. He dropped the let's.
Yeah, that's
Reagan's
about it.
Campaign was "Let's make America great again," and Donald Trump says, "Drop the let's," and that's ours.
Good job, Donald.
Ted Cruz tried courageous conservatives and reigniting the promise of America. He also did trust Ted. Ugh.
That is like a corporate slogan. It's terrible.
Let's see. Marco Rubio, a new American century. Garbage. Kasich for America. Kasich for us. Okay. Ben Carson, heal, inspire, revive. Jeb was just Jeb. Jeb can fix it. All in for Jeb.
Yep.
No, dude.
Rand Paul was defeat the Washington machine, unleash the American dream. Too long. Mike Huckabee, from hope to higher ground. Sounds horrible.
It is horrible.
Carly Fiorina, I forgot about her existence, and I wish I could. Yeah, I'll do that again shortly. New possibilities, real leadership. What's that, Paul?
She's back in your nightmares now, TJ.
Yeah, I forgot she existed. Chris Christie, telling it like it is.
Chris Crispy, dude, I love him so much. I want him to be president so bad, man.
Yeah,
Dude, it should have been like fat, just like you.
I think his campaign slogan should just be "He'll eat anything." You know,
Eating the competition for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
and then Bobby Jindal, tanned, rested, ready. Tanned? What? It's like, I'm not white. And maybe it's time for a not white Republican to win, eh?
And of course, on the other side, it was crazy as fuck too. Here's Hill Dog.
Hill Dog, Hillary for America. Okay.
Also, forward together.
She put that in reverse. I think she actually meant America for Hillary, but whatever. Forward together. All right.
Yep.
Fighting for us.
I'm with her.
I'm with her is probably the worst campaign slogan. It might be worse than the bring back better or whatever the fuck. Build back better. Whatever the fuck Biden's new slogan is. Because it's so easy to flip it. And Trump did super effectively. He's like, she says I'm with her. Well, guess what? I'm with you. You know?
Yeah,
this is way easy. It's way too easy to fucking. You gotta think about dunkability when you're writing these fucking things.
Yeah.
Stronger together. Love Trump's hate. God damn, how many slogans you got, bitch? Come on, pick one.
Look at one of her best ones. When they go low, we go high. She just ripped it off from Michelle Obama.
Yeah. Which is not even a good slogan at all.
I mean, it's better than any of the ones that precede it.
Yeah. No, not really. I don't know. They're all horrible. But I mean, it doesn't even, when they go low, we go high is more like a strategy or something.
Bernie's slogan kind of sucks.
Future believe in, lame. Feel the burn is a way better one.
Yeah,
but it's unofficial.
Should have
just done that. People love these fucking name puns. You got a perfect punnable name. Feel the burn. That's the fucking that's the real campaign slogan. I don't care if it's unofficial.
And then nobody remembers this guy.
I don't even think I was aware of this guy. Fixing democracy, can't wait. Good for him. Okay, yeah, sure. Like, who cares what the Libertarian Party candidates fucking had to say for their slogans?
Yeah, seriously. All
right, so here's I guess the current ones from this
current day.
Keep America great, lame. Promises made, promises kept.
Bullshit.
Pretty lame. Buy American, hire American. Is that Trump still? I guess it
yeah, used by Donald.
These are all
Trump's
Trump,
campaign.
except for the last one, which Bill Weld is leadership America deserves. Gotcha. Oh, Trump says, jobs, not mobs. Build the wall and crime will fall. Make our farmers great again. Buy American, hire American. All right. Why has Trump got such a scattershot bunch of slogans all of a sudden? Just stick with one.
So look at the graveyard of slogans that came out of this fucking clown car of Democratic candidacies.
Oof.
We gotta look at these.
All right, let's see. Our best days are still ahead. Joe Biden. Okay. No malarkey used by Joe Biden. Not me, us. Bernie Sanders. I actually like that one.
That's an upgrade from his first one, but still kind of lame.
I like it.
Burn.
Feel the burn is always
Feel the
good.
burn.
Still works. Dream big, fight hard. Yeah, it's pretty generic. I like Mike, which is a ripoff, and also he's a piece of shit. So no one liked him. That's the ironic thing. No one likes Mike.
Mike will get it done.
Sure, he will. Win the era. Pete Buttigieg. What does that mean?
I don't
know.
know.
Generation of leadership. No. Boot edge. Go away.
Okay.
Lead with love, Tulsi Gabbard. That's garbage. Humanity first, Andrew Yang. I guess I like it better than America first. Not left, not right, forward. Yeah, too cutesy. I don't really like that one. Math, make America think harder. No wonder you lost.
Yeah.
Building opportunity together, Michael Bennett. Man, I swear to God, this is like one of those guys that like the second he's not right in your face, you don't remember he exists.
Yeah, I barely remember him. I remember him from the debates.
I remember he was in the debates, but I couldn't tell you a damn thing about him. He was just like a super generic, I'm a face. John Delaney.
Oh, shit.
Focus on the future. Oh, my God. Brilliant slogan. Let's just we appreciate how fucking powerful that is.
Looking at his face and thinking about the world that he could have built with his big, strong hands that he can do fucking 18 muscle ups with. Makes me fucking sad.
John Delaney is a god among men, and the fact that he did not win the nomination is a fucking travesty.
He started his campaign first, dude. Remember? He actually harassed voters and shit. Still didn't get anywhere.
Cory Booker, we rise. Is he trying to be Bane? Desi, Basara.
Listen to Marianne Williamson's one.
Join the evolution.
Join the evolution.
It sounds like a fucking song.
Join the evolution.
One nation, one destiny. Sounds kind of scary. Get out of here.
Castro,
Get out here. For the people.
Okay, so that means it's definitely not for the people. Thank you.
We're all in this together.
We're all in this like together.
The future is now. Okay, Tim Ryan.
Okay, John Cena, dude. My time is now.
Working people first. Okay. Brave wins. That's horrible. That's wretchedly bad. Oof. Our moment. Jay Inslee. Oh, my God.
Our moment.
It looks like someone squunched his head, just like, eh.
And TJ, lest ye forget to clench your pooper. Hast ye forgot the Hickenlooper?
Yes, I did forget Hickenlooper and stand tall, I guess. Sure. Mike Graffel, end the American Empire. I like it, but I don't think that's going to convince too many voters.
End the American Empire.
Go big, be bold, do good. Me, Eric Swalwell, me, president.
Dude, Eric Swalwell is like that, just like one of those like fistfuls of like corporate Democrat shit stuffed in a suit.
Yep.
That the Democrats like chucked at the wall to see if it would.
Maybe this'll stick.
I'm trying to get a Swalwell scarf. There you go.
Oh man, let's see if this brick-headed fucking moron.
And you know what the fucking thing is?
Well, you know they did.
I got the perfect fucking slogan for him. All's well with Swalwell. You know?
Well, remember, he like attacked like Bernie. I think they had him one debate, like, because he dropped out soon after. Like, they had him go after Bernie about.
I'm Eric Swalwell, and I think Bernie Sanders is a communist or whatever.
He's an empty fucking suit, dude.
Yeah, I don't. It's like another one that I like. He's not right directly in my vision. Gone.
His mouth is open like a grouper in your closet, Hickenlooper, TJ.
Even with your clever rhymes about his terrifying nature, I still forget him instantly.
Yeah, I won't remember him.
I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm a generic white man in a suit. I don't fucking care. You're gone from my memory. You occupy no place in my mind. I have better things to think about.
You already took up.
It's right here still.
No, whatever. I don't want to make
Pop it back up. Pop it back up, Paul. Pop that shit back up, bitch.
Here you go.
Scroll on down. Let's see. This current year, we can hear the Libertarian Party candidates. Don't vote McAfee.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't vote for me. Fuck, man.
You want the reverse psychology angle.
Advance liberty. Okay. Lincoln for liberty. Garbage. Real change for real people. Pretty lame. All of them are pretty lame.
Pretty sad.
Yeah, the Libertarians didn't even try this cycle.
You know what I realized is a lot of presidential campaigns have had pretty fucking lame slogans over the years.
There's been some brilliant ones. Which one stood out to you as the most brilliant?
My favorite one.
Yeah.
Or just
you want me to pop it back up so you can kind of scroll through some eras?
No, that's fine. I mean, I don't know if it's just because we had so much talk about it, but I think the don't change horse midstream, even though I hate the argument that it makes, I feel like that's pretty compelling. But I think honestly the one that I think is the best politically, the one that I think is the most brilliant, and it's not from someone I like, but I think the probably the best one is like, I don't even remember the exact wording of it, but the question sticks in my mind. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?
So Reagan, 1980.
Yeah, the way he defeated, he fucking smashed Jimmy Carter on that.
Stolen in stump speeches and on the campaign trail by both parties, by the way. Both parties have asked this question in front of audiences during stump speeches and etc. So an enduring one for sure. I liked, for me, the one that stands out because I love the brilliant double entendre of it was Bill Clinton's 1992 for people, for a change, because it's readable two ways.
Yeah.
So it's for people for a change, and it's for people for a change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a good one.
Pretty fucking smart. No matter how a person reads it, it comes off positively.
I think that I think Obama just shortening all because there have been so many people who mentioned change in the past, and him just being like change. Just basic one word, just change. And I like the change you could believe in thing. Like Obama had some really good slogans that were pretty powerful.
And then 4 years later, he just goes forward. Like, look,
yeah, he's just like, come on, I'm president. Let's just do it. I'm Obama, bitch. You know what I am at this point.
Forward, and the O in the forward was the iconic Obama O with the American flag in the bottom right hemisphere of it.
Once Obama got power, he was just kind of like, Like Trump clearly loves to campaign. Like he campaigns constantly. Like Obama, the second he didn't have to campaign anymore, is like, I fucking hate campaigning. I'm not doing that.
Despite the fact that actual liberals were really pissed with him by the time he ran for a second term, because his first term was such a disappointment in terms of his capitulation in Obamacare and his walking back of like really important campaign promises. Like he had this standing campaign promise that on day one he would sign an order to start closing down fucking Guantanamo.
Yeah, didn't do that.
Yep.
And he never even touched it as a president. So by the end of his first term, when it just never happened and he was shuffling from foot to foot.
Well, you remember what happened too. So this is what happened. They're like, we're going to close it down. Where should we put it? In every state that was ever mentioned, like all the Republicans and the governors, they're not coming. Nope, they ain't coming to Montana. They ain't coming here.
You should have put it.
Like, we can't put. No one will take Gitmo people.
Yeah. There were plenty of liberal states he could have fucking landed a supermax prison for fucking high value war detainees, and if he wanted to do that.
If you want to hear any truth to the deep state, that's basically what that is. Is that basically he becomes president? They're like, it's not really feasible to close down Gitmo, and here's all the litany of reasons why. And he just looks over and goes, "Okay, shit. Well, we have to try." So I mean, of course, he's the president. He could have closed down Guantanamo Bay. There's no doubt about it. It's bullshit.
He could have signed an executive order on day one, like he said he was going to, and immediately started the process.
Yeah, he didn't withdraw from Iraq on the timetable. He claimed he would. I mean, he didn't really withdraw at all, honestly, in the long run.
He could have stuck to his guns on Obamacare and actually passed a public option and not just a giant gift and mandated purchase of shitty corporate insurance. He could have not gutted that. He could have not been the most prolific drone bomber in American history.
Well, not anymore. Thankfully.
Well, whatever at the time, you know what I mean? I'm thinking from the perspective of 2000 and
I gotcha.
12. You know what I mean?
But Obama had everyone all those liberals over a barrel because it was like, who are you going to vote for?
Right.
Yeah, it's like, here's Mitt Romney. It's like, okay.
His
I mean, remember Mitt Romney was literally on like tape being like, yeah, about half the country is just pieces of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what sunk Romney completely. He had no chance after that because after they snuck a reporter in for that shit and they played that clip a million times. Like basically, most of these other people in America are garbage. And of course, then the media goes, "Who are they talking about? Minorities, poor people? Like who is it?" And of course, then that just leads to like, Obama's message. And like, Obama's the president for everyone. He actually has look, there's white people, there's black people, like all these people are happy.
Yeah, Mitt Romney literally, I think it was 47%. He said, like, he's like 47% of the country are just like lazy pieces of shit or garbage people or whatever the fuck it is.
He was like lazy idiots.
I don't remember exactly what he said. Let me fucking go find it. 47. All right, here's what he said.
They're freeloaders or something.
There are 40. I got it. I got the quote. There are 47% of people who will vote for the president no matter what. All right. Well, there are 47% who are with him, who are dependent upon government, who believe that they are victims, who believe the government has a responsibility to care for them, who believe they are entitled to health care, to food, to housing, to you name it. That's an entitlement, and the government should give it to them. And they will vote for president no matter what. These are the people who pay no income taxes. My job is not to worry about those people. I'll never convince them they should take personal responsibility and care for their lives. What a piece of shit, dude. He's running for president. He's like, half the country can go fuck itself.
All those poor people, they just want everything given to them.
They don't pay no fucking taxes. Yeah, because they don't have no fucking money, you fucking piece of shit.
Unlike these corporations, TJ, they just get massive.
And now this fucking piece of shit goes to is like marching with Black Lives Matter, like, I'm a good Republican now. It's like, no, you're not, you shitbag. Blech.
You know, he's just realized that the Republican Party and a number of people a lot of Republicans now are thinking about the future after Trump. They're like, hey, if Trump loses or whatever, even if Trump doesn't lose, eventually Trump's going to be gone. Like, we got to have a bigger tent. We got to have more. We got to bring more people in. You know, so they want to pander more. Trump doesn't give a shit about pandering because he's already done the opposite strategy. You can't fucking go, I'm gonna try to pander to this group.
Well, the problem is the problem the Republican Party has at this point is like the more like if they try to reach out to other demographics, that upsets their key demographic, which is like people who don't want to fucking reach out to other demographics. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'll show you right now what the Republican strategy post-Trump is going to be. Right there. Warren G. Harding's 1920 return to normalcy.
Well, that makes sense, though.
That'll be it.
Return to normalcy.
Yeah, Trump was this aberration in the system, and now let's get things back to where they need to be.
Yeah, right. Though
that's gonna be a hard argument because, I mean, like so many of them were just total Trump bootlickers.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way because like too many fucking Republican voters still love Trump and just think he's the greatest. But the fact is, like, if they continue with this Trump fucking shit, they're never gonna eventually it's gonna get to a point like where Republicans can't win the fucking presidency. Like, you could gerrymander it all you want. Like, it's just the demographics of America are shifting too much. Like, they're not going to be able to do it. Like, you're just not going to find enough crusty white people to be like, Republicans, you know? So if they're not willing to fucking broaden that, like, make that tent a little bigger somehow, they ain't going to fucking win.
Well,
they're not going to win no more elections.
Through, like, voter fraud or vote manipulation.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. The more
I've already been employing that for a while. I guess you're arguing
like
that
the more the fucking bigger the gap gets, the harder it is to rig the whole fucking thing.
It's all a fucking show, TJ.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you understand that it's all a fucking show? All the rigging that Scotty was talking about, from electoral tampering to the outright theft of the presidency we saw in the year 2000, using fucking a stacked Supreme Court and a stacked media and a stacked fucking local election official to basically steal the presidency. From that to the overt psychological manipulation, to the overt fucking corporate, to the money that's just dumped on these people by corporations and corporate entities through super PACs. Fucking insane, TJ.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone. It's all pageantry. All they have to do is keep America interested. It's not about presenting a good candidate anymore. Trump is proof of that. He's proof of it. It's not about finding our best and brightest and putting them up there. It's about the show. It's about the spectacle. It's about putting a weird old man up there and watching him deteriorate and seeing how many people they can get behind him. And when that's played out, they'll return to this buttoned down Mike Pence conservatism. They've got it in their more than in their hip pocket right now. It's right out there on display. He's there to normalize the fucking weirdo that they put up there to appease everybody. And what they'll go back to when they're done with him. And when the time is right, assuming America doesn't eat itself in the ensuing fucking 16, 20, 24 years, another fucking weirdo Trump will happen because the time will be right for it again. It's just cyclical, man. Reading those fucking campaign slogans was eye-opening for me, because it shows how little politics has changed over the course of American history.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
over the course of
no doubt about that.
History, to be honest.
You read so much about those slogans and so much and infer so much from just basic knowledge of what these people did in their presidencies and how they were presented to the people. Dude, it's been a pageant all along, TJ. It's been a pageant all along. It's always been a soap opera, and it's gotten even more soap opera-y as the fucking years have gone by.
I think it's like a lot of things in life, and people don't want to admit, and it happens in the legal process and it's like, who's telling a better narrative and who's telling a better story, and where's the momentum behind that story? Like with Trump, the momentum was all behind him.
Everything is psychology, TJ.
Mm-hmm.
We have been being played like a fucking harp from hell from the beginning.
Well, that's what politics is, though. I mean, that's what it's about.
Into pretending we don't have a monarchy. Into pretending we don't have a monarchy by shifting around the king every once in a while and pretending we have a choice in that fucking act. It's been fucking rigged from the get-go. It's been a fucking pageant from the get-go. It's been manipulative from the get-go. It's been destructive from the get-go. And ultimately, from the get-go, it's been about putting dollars in the pockets of rich people. And it remains that to this day. It's been about protecting landowners, protecting capital owners, protecting businessmen. And it's that to this day. And pretending that we, the little folk, the proletariat, the poor little dirty-faced masses with their hands out, have any fucking choice in the matter, really, is just a joke at this fucking point, man. It's like a fantasy. It's like a third grade fucking idea to me.
Yeah, it's like saying the factory owner lets all the factory workers vote on the color of the uniform, so therefore
your fucking ass.
So therefore they control the factory, right? We voted on the color of the uniforms.
You listened to your Carlin, didn't you, TJ?
Yeah.
They fucking own you.
Table is tilted. The game is rigged.
They own you. There's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Mm-hmm.
They own your ass. They own your children. They own your house. They own your property. They own the shirt on your fucking back. And if they want it, they'll take it. And that's the way it has been since jump.
Well, they don't have to take it. They already have it.
This is not a new issue. They've been appropriating property and stomping rights since America's been America, since the first goddamn Stars and Stripes was raised over a fucking government building. They've been stomping the throats of the little man, and they're going to continue to do it. They're going to continue to do it.
Look at the foundation of our government. Like, what were the governments in the Western world before? You know, it's like, you can see like a marginal, like what appears to be like, oh, we have enlightenment, we have more human rights, we're having, but it's like at the same time, what you're saying, if you think about the systems they're based on, it was like there was a gentry, like there was basically a ruling class, a very small one, and a bunch of peasants in the fucking field. And it was like, okay, well, that phase is over with. Now peasants have to work jobs and pay us rent. Okay, so now we're just going to become the merchants. So it just moved from a title of nobility to a title of like, oh, well, it's a business now. Business is the game.
In their circle, it's still a title of nobility. It's still treated as such. They still treat each other as nobles.
Someone like Bezos might as well be just a part of the fucking aristocracy. He doesn't live in the same world you live in, or Bill Gates. Like, they live in these little enclaves. Like, they only associate with certain people.
He's on track, dude. The world's first trillionaire. He's the king.
I mean, it's hard to argue otherwise. I mean, now, if he ever actually gets that trillion, he probably won't, simply because he might not want the PR of it. He might just give a bunch of it away to make himself look good. Like, oh, I'm giving $200 billion to this. And people go, oh, wow, yeah, he gave $200 billion. To him, it's nothing anyways.
I think he'll let it accumulate before he does that.
Well, yeah, I'm saying he might have like $600 or $700 billion worth of it and say, oh, I'm going to give away all this.
Jeff Bezos, you'll occasionally hear about him being like, oh, yeah, he gave this much money away to this. And then people will point out, like, yeah, that's like 0.00 this % of his wealth or whatever.
Jeff Bezos gave $100 million, but it's like he's worth fucking $100
Yeah, but to him, it's like nothing. It's just like, yeah, here's some, $100 million, here you go.
It's the equivalent of him dropping his like 75 cents in change in that little box with the poor kid on it at the gas station. You know what I mean? It's
like you go to PetSmart or something, like, yeah, you want to give $1 to like homeless pets or whatever, and it's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, it's like basically the equivalent of that.
And here's the fucking more criminal thing. In the area that he's in as one of the worst homelessness problems and drug addiction problems, not like maybe where he lives in particular, but there's areas nearby, and he has all this money and all this wealth that he could actually like, he could realistically, you know what, let me try to solve homelessness in this area. Let me try to do something like that with my money, and probably can make a huge dent in it. But instead it's just like, nope, I'm on a pile of money. I'm on a big pile of money.
No one accumulates that much money to solve any fucking problems in the world.
Of course, it's not what he wants to do with it. He wants to fund whatever little ventures he thinks are worthwhile.
I'm going to be a trillionaire.
Or it'll build his legacy. That's all he cares about now. The money to him is nothing. It's like
all of the founding fathers that we worship were this. They were the landowners. They were the rich people amongst the gentry that was left after we kicked the fucking right. They were the people who supplied the capital for the revolution.
George Washington was literally the richest man in America.
Right.
Like literally, no, he was literally the richest man in America, and they made him the leader.
Well, yeah, he owned the huge tracts of land.
Yeah, and most of his
the same way.
Yeah, most of his family fortune had been gained by exploiting people and scamming people. He scammed a bunch of fucking indentured servants out of land that was supposed to be theirs, because there was like this provision where like, hey, if you go to America and be an indentured servant, you get this land. But instead of giving the indentured servants the land, the Washington family just took the land themselves.
He gave them quote unquote fair market value for the land.
Right.
He just paid them pennies on the dollar for the land and took the land.
And then basically that's how they acquired all this land. And then they had slaves work it. And George Washington like inherited, I think, like 10 slaves by the time he was 11 years old, and he accumulated hundreds more in his lifetime. I mean, they were all pieces of shit. These were good. These guys, like, people think like there was like this, like the Revolutionary War was like this, like massive like fermentation of like the people want freedom. It was like 3% of the population that were being paid and sponsored by these rich guys who just wanted power for themselves.
Right. And that was the foundations of this country. So the entire country, this idea that America was created to be this land of the free, where the individual could be the individual, and where fairness ruled the day, and where the people's voice was heard. This fantasy that people have about America is completely defeated when you understand who it was that created America and who codified it. Because really, the Constitution and the foundational documents and the foundational principles of government, they were about protecting the rights of landowners.
Right. I mean, that's why only rich white landowner.
It was also things that the king had done to those people. Like, you can't speak out on this, or we're going to put soldiers up here.
They were tired of having to pay a percentage of their winnings to this foreign government.
Of course. And why wouldn't you? They realize we have all the power here in these colonies. Like, fuck them. They're fucking far away. We don't have to, like, we're going to give them money.
Together and decided, like, let's whip up the fucking populace. Let's stage a bunch of shit. Let's get the populace on our side to the best of our ability, and let's pay who we can't get on our side. And let's kick fucking King George off, and let's establish a fucking oligarchy here.
Yeah, see, and there was a lot of civil unrest at the time, because just like now, there was like this like huge gap between the haves and the have-nots in the early colonial American society. And so a lot of what the founding fathers did was take that, that civil unrest and try to do everything in their power to turn it not towards them, but towards the British. It's the British. The throne done it. If only we were out from under the boot heel of these people.
I would like to treat you fairly, but King George, what a dick.
King George is a dick bag. And then, of course, after the American Revolution, like, people were like, yeah, now the income inequality is gonna, okay, it's not happening. It's okay. Wait, huh? It's like, so.
I mean, there was a point in time in American history, honestly, where it was reasonable. Like, if you look at we looked at some of those charts. I can't remember that you remember that manifesto I pulled up, the Collapse of Civilization manifesto. We looked at some of those charts, and there was a point in time where, like, the rich looked like they had their fair share in comparison with the workers. But it was a very brief moment in American history.
Yeah, I think it was pretty bad during the Revolutionary War times. I think it might have gotten better maybe under like FDR kind of era kind of shit. But
I think you saw that kind of the tax rate. I mean, like, income tax rates were much higher. The way people made money. There's so many factors that have led to greater income inequality in the developed world. Like, here, there's like a lot of economists believe there's kind of a proportional relationship to the amount of manufacturing done overseas. With like, basically, the more and more we do overseas, we're seeing a greater drop in income here.
The top tax bracket when I was a kid, when I was born, was something like 85% or more. Like, it's absurd. It was insanely high. Now, of course, rich people were moving their money around and dodging it.
Sure. Yeah, no one was actually paying that, but that
meant that overall, when they did pay taxes, they were paying more taxes than they're paying now. And that's gone. Like, the corporate tax rate is effectively zero now. Like, these huge corporations, Amazon, fucking ExxonMobil, fucking all these huge telecom companies, they end up paying an effective zero tax rate. They pay money, and they'll flaunt it too. They'll be like, we paid over $3 billion and blah, blah, blah. But it was all offset by fucking, what do you call them, Scotty? The fucking...
They'll get tax credits. They'll have provisions and loopholes and laws where it's like, oh, that money was made overseas. Oh, dude, there's so many tricks that U.S. companies use, and companies all over the world. Like, a lot of tech companies, all they put all their money? Ireland.
Yeah, well, that's part of. I actually read a thing about this. Ireland is only stop one, so they moved their headquarters, quote unquote, to Ireland. That's a move that a lot of these businesses do, and then their money gets transferred around through the Balkans and ends up usually in South America or the islands there, like the Cuba and Haiti and fucking Panama, the Caribbean, yeah. And that's really where it ends up. And there's this process. I can't remember what it was called, but they actually have a word for it because it's named after the city that the money ends up in Port-au-Prince or whatever the fuck. It's called the whatever bounce. And it's like they take their money, they move their headquarters overseas to Ireland where there's a very low corporate tax rate. And then they cheat that by moving their money around, and it eventually ends up housed somewhere in the Caribbean.
You know what they do with Ireland, like, so like the stop with that is, and the way they get them to cooperate is that they have a bunch of tech companies have like a bunch of jobs in Ireland, so it's like they're big employers there, so it's like if we crack down on this, they'll just say, look, we can just move this wherever the fuck we want.
Ireland is incredibly economically depressed, like or was historically.
It was. Oh, dude, it's and because of that, all the investment that's gone in that country, Ireland's gone way up. So it's like they want to keep that standard of living going up. I mean, a lot of people love Ireland now for that, for quality of life. Yeah.
They courted corporations with this, like, hey, we've got a low effective rate and we've got these regulations that allow you to move your money. So just bring your jobs here, bring your revenue here. And it worked for them. You know what I mean? They made a deal with the devil. But the people that are working for those corporations, they're probably treated like shit. By and large, most people that work for corporations are, unless they're sitting on the board. You know what I mean? They're treated like garbage.
Well, it's acceptable. You know, like we're talking about, like the difference. Like if, you know, you go into a company and you're this big time person, you're wearing this suit and you have all the power, of course, you can treat everyone. And I'm not like, look, I've been on so many flights and I've been with around these business types, and it's like, they're just like, yep, all right, yep. They'll talk pretty much right till they have the flight. They're like, sir, you got to turn your phone off. And it's just like, they're total pieces of shit. They're just talking about how they're going to fuck everyone over. Like there's like that talking to a client, like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And they're talking to the other people they're going to make money with. Like, oh yeah, they can't believe this guy is a fucking sap. You know, it's like,
it's interesting to me.
Business world, same as business. Everybody knows by now.
You guys want to hear the? I love this businessman routine by George Carlin here.
You could ever want to run into a fucking piece of shit businessman, and the proof of it is they don't even trust each other. They don't trust one another. When a businessman sits down to negotiate a deal, the first thing he does is to automatically assume that the other guy is a complete lying prick who's trying to fuck him out of his money.
Totally true, by the way.
That is fucking so.
That's just business.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, if you take it and if you in any go in any other way, and you learn this the more and more, and that's the experience, businessman. Like when people first get into business, they'll be like, "No, yeah, it's great." But the more you deal with assholes in the world, and the more assholes try to do shady things, the more you realize, like, oh man, like no, you can't just.
And I grew up around with Scotty, so that's why I'm fucking totally jaded, because I know what a piece of shit Scotty is. Scotty, I'm gonna come kick this shit out of you. You're 33 years old now, Scotty. You're old and you're weak.
Bring it on, TJ.
You're old and you're weak, bitch. I don't think so, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, let's see, TJ.
Solid, rock solid gun, Scotty.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You can't fuck with that.
Let's see now. I know she did. Hit your arm. Let's see.
There you go, Scotty.
I saw a lot of jiggling.
Nah, you didn't see nothing.
I saw a lot of fucking jiggling.
You didn't see no jiggling. You know what? Here's the thing. I might be fatter than you, so there is. I'll admit there's a little bit of jiggly down here. All right, but there's a lot of muscle up here on the top, Scotty, and you're gonna get fucking crushed,
you had those weights for a while, dude. You should have the fucking 23-inch pythons by now.
Yeah, you ought to be ripped, TJ.
I am ripped. It's just covered under my fatness.
Vascular, or what was it you said you were gonna be?
Fuscular, dude.
Fuscular, that was it.
Fuscular.
Yeah, what's the fuscular shit, dude?
Oh, it's coming.
Fuscularity.
Not quite, but it's coming. It's on its way.
Okay.
It's on the way.
See the transformation.
Hey, there's been
on your chrysalis face.
There was a point when I started the fuscularity thing. Like, if I fucking put my hand right here and like flexed, there'd be nothing here. Now there's at least something there. So, you know, slowly but surely.
Dude, some dudes cheated the routine to be fuscular, and like he looked at that shit and was like, nope.
Yeah. You actually have to eat like a normal like you can't just like you eat a lot because you're building muscle, but you can't like eat like.
Well, no, the people who were showing me their shit were like, the shit that you could eat on that was crazy. You could pretty much be a fucking garbage disposal, but you had to also fucking do all kinds of crazy exercise to burn.
You had to be in the gym for like at least like an hour.
Yeah, we're talking like hours in the gym every day, but you can eat like a motherfucker. You can just pack away food and shit. There's no problem there. But yeah, it's not worth it. Fuck that. I ain't fucking going through all that shit. 2 hours of fucking, yeah, do this and that. I can't even I don't even have the endurance for that shit.
Oh, dude, you have no endurance, TJ. Because I remember we all went to work out at that gym. Like, Paul actually did pretty good. I was surprised. Like, I thought Paul was gonna be like one of those dudes like tapped out after like 10 minutes, but he'd go for like 45 minutes to an hour. I'm like, damn, TJ, you get on there for 10 minutes,
10 or 15 minutes, about as far as I can go with exercise. Like at that point, I'm like, man, I don't like it.
I regret having to move away from that place because I'm telling you, where I lived at that time, there was a gym in the building that I could use just because I was a resident. I used the same card that I used to get into the building, to get into the gym. And that's the gym we used.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was like so close to my apartment. It was like right downstairs and across the hall.
Yep.
And there I was. And I went every day, dude. There was a point there for like 2-3 months. Now I didn't like bust complete ass every day, but I went every day and got at least I used that elliptical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my shit. I got on that and I got into a rhythm where it was like, okay, I can actually like run on this thing, and I would let go of the bars and just kind of like jog on it. And I would sit there and do that for 45 minutes every day. And then I would lift weights with Ben. Like Ben would come over and he'd help me lift weights. He didn't know shit about weightlifting, but whatever. It was cool to have a buddy to lift weights with and shit, to drive you at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would do that 2 times a week. And I did that for like 3 months. Dude, I lost like 70 pounds. And I felt better than I'd felt ever. Like, it was crazy. I'm at the opposite of that now. I'm so fucking fat. Dude,
yeah, dude. I'll tell you what, the quarantine, that's one thing I noticed about Paul, and I went to see him. I mean, I didn't really see him, but just saw him briefly. I was like, oh, dude, Paul's been fucking eating this quarantine.
I blew up, dude. I've just blown up. And it's been over this year. This last year, I've just completely lost any semblance of fucking awareness of what I'm eating.
Yeah, I'm not doing too good myself with that. I mean, I'm not at my highest, but I'm pretty far from my like low point too.
Well, TJ, you're on a diet now, so
yeah.
How's that going?
Yeah, pretty decent. You know, I've been
what, TJ? I heard
what? No, I mean, it's been pretty decent. I mean,
what'd you do, TJ?
I didn't do nothing.
What'd you eat, TJ?
I didn't eat shit. Whatever. I mean, it's
you haven't eaten shit.
No, I haven't eaten shit. I had some like I was eating like cantaloupe and shit yesterday. I mean, I'm fine. I'm on a diet.
It's some fucking cantaloupe. Okay, yeah, dude.
I'm eating fucking cantaloupe and shit.
If you want to defeat your fatness, you have to just learn to not like the other food. You have to just tell yourself that other, like the food you want to eat.
Oh yeah, well I mean I'm not even keeping it in my house. Like you could go through my shit. I don't have no fucking Oreos or none of that crazy shit here. I got fucking like fruits and vegetables.
Don't get no
shit.
Oreos, TJ.
Yeah.
The minute you get some Oreos, you're done.
I know. I ain't got none of that. I got like fucking fruits and vegetables and fucking lean meats and some stuff. You know,
the problem with you is like, I'm sure you mainly just use Instacart, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, TJ. Just don't ever let them those Oreos, like just a little bag of Oreos.
So easy to throw on some Oreos.
Yeah, I don't think you do it. But it's fine. I don't know. I've been calorie counting, so sometimes it's hard though, because like you don't always know what the fuck amount of calories are in. So sometimes you just gotta fucking take the best goddamn guess you can.
It's all an estimation.
It's like, well, I think it was probably about this many. Like I had, we had like a taco night last night, and I had like a burrito, and I'm like, I don't fucking know how to calculate what the fuck this burrito had. And I mean, it was nothing too crazy. It's pretty standard stuff, but so I just fucking went. I'm like, it was about double the size of a Taco Bell burrito, so I just said I had 2 Taco Bell burritos, which was fine. I was able.
I think it's crazy when we started the show.
What?
Stevie was the fattest one.
Yeah,
amongst the 4 of us.
Now Stevie, I don't know, Stevie. Maybe I should get Stevie to be my personal trainer or something.
Stevie, I don't know if Stevie. No, I still Stevie still weighs a little bit more than me.
Does he?
But
he's bigger than you though.
Yeah, he's a little bit bigger than me. So
like 6'2" or 6'3" or something, right?
Stevie's like 6'2",
and you're like you're 6 feet even, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
6'5.5". I think that's what it is, the exact one.
What you're? Who? Me? You? What?
No, you. You're 6'5.5", right?
I think so. I'm around there.
Or you're 6'6".
It just depends on who I'm talking to.
Sometimes on who you're talking to.
Sometimes I'll be as much as 6'7".
When you're over like 6'1", you can do that. You can squeeze an inch.
Yeah, you can always add like inch and a half.
I mean, that's true. You're so tall that very few people will actually call you on that.
Yeah,
like, you're 6'5.5". Like, what?
I mean, actually, I think if you want to know like an official measurement, if I'm barefoot and standing up straight and fucking do the measurement, I think it's like 6'5" and like 3/4. But I just say 6'6".
So you're almost 6'6". Yeah,
I just say 6'6".
And you're saying if you wear shoes, you'll end up being around.
Yeah,
6'6".
and if I'm wearing my shoes, I'm easily 6'6". So whatever. Well, sometimes I'll say 6'7" because that's fun too. 6'8", I don't think I can get away with.
If you get those, what are those shoes that add like 2 or 3 inches?
Dude, I looked into that to see if I could because I'm like, man, I could be like nearly 7 feet tall if I had some of them shoes that have like the hidden platforms in them, but they don't make them my size of shoe. I wrote the company and everything, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like tall, but like I want to be taller. So you guys can you guys do any shoes in my size? And they never responded.
Damn,
dude.
You're trying to be 7 feet tall?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, man. I've always wanted to be taller.
Paul, he just wants to walk around and just be like so tall because he needs like the height now where it's like, oh, he's pretty tall. He wants to be like, feel like, damn, that dude's.
Yeah, I want to be like scary tall. I want to be like when people see me, they kind of get a little bit uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
I feel like I rolled the dice and just came up fucking, whatever it is you want to hit in dice. I came up fucking double sixes or whatever the fuck. Like I'm right. I'm way tall enough to where I'll never be accused of being short. I don't have to deal with all of the psychological bullshit that we throw at short men in this country.
Yeah.
Like I'm tall enough for that, but I'm not so tall that it's a hindrance to me. You know what I mean? Like you have to duck through some doorways that I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I look at you like right on the edge of too tall because like there are just certain things that are like you would have a hard time probably like squeezing into a ride where I wouldn't, not because you're fatter, but because you have more leg to deal with, you know what I mean?
But
like
I want to be, I mean, even with those disadvantages though, like if anything, I'd want to be taller. I'd like to be 7 feet tall. That'd be pretty cool.
Think about like being on a plane though,
at
7 feet,
right?
At 6'1", because I'm 6'1", with my back to the wall, standing up straight,
right?
It is uncomfortable as fuck on a plane for me, and not because I'm fat.
Yeah,
has nothing to do with my fatness. It is because there's just not room. There's nowhere for me to put my fucking legs.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
You're 6'5".
Yeah,
it's worse for you. At 7 feet, it's going to be even way worse.
Right, of course.
Because like 2 or 3 inches of that is going to have to come. It's going to have to be leg.
Oh, dude.
But I don't care.
Plane's like the worst place.
7 feet tall. I'm telling you.
That's the one place being small is fucking great. If you're talking about a plane, dude.
Oh,
if you're fucking big, man, get on a fucking plane. I'm not even that fucking big. I'm like 200 fucking pounds. But like it feels like you're basically sitting in a fucking kid's chair. Like Paul, I don't know. Like, I mean, you told me about that flight where you're like, dude, I couldn't fucking feel my legs for like half the fucking flight. I'm like, fuck.
The person in front of me had leaned their chair back, which whatever, I would too if I was able to get comfortable in a place like that. And so I just had like my legs were literally pressed up against the seat in front of me. And if I spread my legs, I could have got some relief, but that would have meant one of my legs was in the aisle and one of my legs was in the space of the person who was sitting next to me. So I just had to sit there with my legs together and literally no blood flow in lower extremities for 3.5, 4 hours while I was in the air. It was just,
dude, I'm
honestly done flying. Like, I think, like, look, driving sucks, but I think I can take the train and drive anywhere in the fucking United States that I want to go.
It'll take you so much longer.
I know, but here's the thing. I can do long fucking driving shifts and shit. Like I can drive for 12 hours straight. I can drive for longer than 12 hours straight. So here's the thing. If I wanted to go to like, let's say I wanted to go to Las Vegas from here, right? I plotted it out and it's like a 24-hour drive or 27-hour drive or something like that. So it's like a day and change on the road.
Yeah.
Here's what I would do. I'd take like a week off or whatever. I'd plot out a route. I would do 2 12-hour shifts or whatever, and basically I'd be in Vegas. Little change, and I'm in Vegas. I would stop about halfway there. So I'd find a cool place to stop in and sleep, get a good rest, get a good meal in me, get back on the road pretty early. My travel time is like a day and a half, and then I'm in Vegas for 6 days. And then I come back. So I've basically taken a week and a half off. And I've gone to Vegas, and I've been in Vegas for a week, and I didn't fly.
Some people prefer that. I mean, some people prefer the whole road trip experience. They like the pace is more like, okay, I can just stop here and do whatever.
Car to do it, so I'm not putting all these miles on my car. That's a little bit of an expense, but once again, once you factor in all the risks you're taking flying and the expense of it, because it's fucking expensive as shit. Even though it's cheap now, the risk you're taking is retarded.
Well, because of COVID. I mean, under normal circumstances, it's way less risky to fly.
I'm a relatively safe driver though, and I know how to stay on fucking freeways and drive long hauls without falling asleep and shit. I'm a defensive driver. I've been good my whole life at that, so I'm gonna do it that way.
Yeah, I guess the only time you would have to break your policy then is if you wanted to go overseas. Because then you would have to
break my policy to get on like a puddle jumper flight too. That's the difference. Like if we lived in Vegas and I was going to LA or vice versa, if we lived in LA and
you'd be an idiot to do it the other way.
I would go on a puddle jumper flight.
Yeah, it's so much simpler. It really is.
But
and that drive between Vegas and LA, once you get out of LA, there's really nothing. It's just you're fucking driving through desert.
Nothing drive, and it's about 8 hours of just basically nothing. It's not 8 hours; it's like 6 hours of nothing.
Yeah, and it's just, it just depends on all the traffic and all the other bullshit.
Yeah, I think I'd just rather take the 3.5 hour flight to Vegas, even if my legs will be uncomfy for a minute.
But think about this.
Yeah.
Let's say that let's place ourselves, because we're not going to stay in Louisiana.
Sure.
We don't know where we're moving, but we're not going to be in Louisiana forever.
Right.
So let's place ourselves somewhere on the West Coast or in the west of the nation somewhere. Colorado,
yeah, wherever.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's say we're in Nevada.
Sure.
And I want to go, let's say I want to take a break. We've got a bunch of shows in the bank or whatever, and I want to go on a vacation.
Yeah.
I want to go see Montana. I want to go spend some time in the woods and rent a cabin up in Montana somewhere and just chill out. I've got choices. I could fly into fucking wherever in Montana, Butte,
Billings, Montana.
Billings, and then rent a car and go through all the fucking and the expense, because it would be expensive as fuck probably to make that flight. Go through all the airport bullshit, go through all the bag checking, go through all the dino shit, go through all the fucking cat shit. Both of our animals are fine on road trips. So it's like, if we wanted to bring them, we could so I could drive from Nevada to like Montana and get up in the mountains and shit. It would probably be about a day's on the road, because I'd stop halfway through, like I said. But I plotted out to where, like, okay, what's between here and fucking Montana that would be cool to pass through?
Right.
And I would stop and chill for a day in another place.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just a travel philosophy thing, because some people really like, the ability. It's more like it can be more spontaneous. Like, because you might, let's say, for example, I'm going to go to Montana. I have this whole plan here. I've heard of trips where people literally heard about something else. Like, you hear about something in Oregon. You're like, you know what? I want to go to see this lake now. So fuck this cabin in Montana. I'm going to see this fucking volcanic lake or whatever.
Let me ask you guys
that option.
Do you guys enjoy seeing shit like the way that you see it on the road, like driving through places, seeing different cities and landscapes and shit?
Oh, yeah, that's great.
TJ, you don't really care for it.
No, I don't give a fuck
I like
about
both ways. No, I mean, like sometimes, like if I'm just not in the mood to drive, like and a lot of times, like I'll just want to fly. But I mean, look, I've fucking pretty much drove from Ohio to Bellevue. I mean, TJ drove a little bit. I mean, I've driven across the country several times. It's definitely an experience that I think.
Damn, Taco Bell getting rid of more menu items? What the fuck?
Yeah, they're downsizing their menu.
Why the fuck Taco Bell keep getting rid of every fucking thing on their fucking menu? This is fucking bullshit.
Because nobody's getting it.
That's not true.
They got better data, TJ.
People are pissed. People are pissed.
Nobody's getting it.
Dude, no, TJ, hear me out. Hear me out on why. Like, yeah, some people are pissed. The people that really like those items are pissed. But guess what? Have you stopped going to Taco Bell since they got rid of the double-decker taco?
Pretty much.
Okay, well, maybe for you and your own personal experience, but I think a lot of people I mean, look, they introduced that. Oh wait, you got that fucking grilled cheese burrito. So you fucking you
But
did
now
go
I can't
back.
even do that because I'm on this diet, and that motherfucker's like 1,000 calories or some shit. So
But if you were on a diet right now,
yeah, I'd probably go grab
have
that a
that.
couple more times.
Dude, you'd be losing weight at like what are you limiting yourself to? 2,000 a day?
No, because of my high resting metabolic rate, because of my size, I can do 3,000 a day and still lose weight at a rate of 1 pound a week, or I can do 2,500 a day and lose it at a rate of 2 pounds per week, which is what I'm going for.
So you could have one of those burritos.
Yeah, I mean I could, but I mean it's such a waste of calories though.
Have like a sensible fucking day where you have like some oatmeal or something for breakfast and a sandwich for lunch, and then have one of those for dinner.
Yeah, I could do that, but the fact is that it's not going to be filling enough for me. So I need to get foods that are more filling and like therefore
you can eat that basically adds there's filler that you can eat that's tasty that basically adds no calories.
Yeah, you could eat carrot sticks and or like I had some cantaloupe last night and stuff like that.
You could eat. I had a dietitian once because I've been down that route, and I had a dietitian once tell me that you can literally eat as many apples as you want.
Yeah, and I do love apples, so.
And eat your meals and shit and eat as many apples as you want in between.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna eat too many apples.
Look, the reality is if you get enough calories in you, it doesn't matter how you get it, you'll feel sated. It's just that like you're wanting to stuff yourself. So it's like you have to start limiting your portions as well. Like that's part of the whole thing.
I'm gonna start doing this. I've done this before. Apples, carrots. There are things that are like filling to the stomach that it takes the stomach a long time.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, if you ate carrots and apples, you ain't getting fat. I mean, even if you eat enough calories.
You can get some dips and shit that have very few calories. Like you can dip carrot sticks in balsamic vinaigrette, and it adds a little taste to them.
Yeah,
you can dip them in like low fat ranch if that's your thing, and it adds very few. As long as it's like the low sodium shit, you're not adding a ton to it. As long as you're just dipping a carrot stick.
Yeah,
broccoli. Cauliflower, apples.
See, I hate cauliflower so much, but I'm trying to fucking like, maybe get a little bit more accepting of it. Whatever.
Jay, this is what I'm telling you, and I'm telling you this from experience because I've done it.
Yeah.
If your problem is you're feeling hungry in between meals and you're feeling like you're not getting enough satiation in the meals,
right?
There are a number of foods that I've just mentioned, and there's a number more you can eat as much of all fucking day long, and it's not gonna make you go. You're gonna have some fibrous ass shits.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You can eat steamed broccoli literally all goddamn fucking day long, and you're not gonna get fat off of it. You can eat steamed carrots or raw carrots all day. Celery, if that's your thing. I fucking hate celery.
I like celery. I will eat celery.
Yeah, I won't go near celery. It just tastes like soap to me.
Yeah, I gotcha.
You deal with it. It's waxy and weird. But I can't. But you can eat tomatoes all day. You can eat carrots all day. You can eat apples all day. Grapes are more, they're just sugar bombs. So you should probably stay away from grapes, but you can eat like a bunch of grapes and it doesn't add a ton of
because the sugar in fruits, I think because of the, I believe because of like the porous, like it doesn't like not as much of the sugar gets in your
the glycemic index or whatever.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. I don't remember the exact
vegetables
shit
are bad,
it,
but fruits are not. I mean, look, if you eat a bunch of apples, it's not really bad for you.
Yeah. Anywho, we've been going about 2 hours. You want to wrap this or?
Yeah, sure.
I'm fine with wrapping it. I'm fine with continue rapping, TJ.
Oh, okay. Fine. Impromptu 24-hour fucking Bantersode then.
Because I don't give a fuck.
Impromptu 24-hour Bantersode, y'all.
I don't think I can do that.
All right, then let's wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time with more Deep Fat Fried. Hope you enjoyed. Let us know in the comments down below because we actually do read those.
Wrist.
I'm gonna do this one.
Oh, very regal of you.
Although you can kind of imagine that as like trying to waft a fart closer to you. Like, yes, I love the smell of fart.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, God. Yes. I love myself.